Greetings, Principles of Marketing students. Dr. Pellegrino here with you again, and we're going to talk today about product differentiation and how we try to place differences in the mind of the consumer. What I want to start with here is I want you to think about fast food hamburgers and what product comes to mind when you think of the best place to get a fast food hamburger. And then you're going to think, well, maybe it's McDonald's, maybe it's Whataburger, maybe it's Burger King, maybe it's Wendy's. I think we got a Carl's Jr. here. But you probably won't consider Culver's or Crystal or Five Guys or Jack in the Box or Sonic, Checkers or White Castle. That's a Chicago one. And all of those have perceptions, but they're mostly based geographically. And so in certain areas, you're going to find that preferences will change. And that's based on the way the company markets itself compared to its competitors. So if we look here, we've got a map of the U.S. and you'll see particularly in Texas. Look at Texas. Texas is very green. Well, that's Whataburger, and so they have a strong, they have a very strong brand differentiation. Now, honestly, is there really much difference between one fast food hamburger and another? If you go to Dairy Queen, if you go to Whataburger, if you go to Hardee's, you go to Burger King, you go to McDonald's, you go to Wendy's, you're going to get a fast food hamburger. But people will go. I found it interesting that they have both Carl's Jr. and Hardee's on here, since Carl's Jr. actually owns Hardee's. Hardee's is close to my heart because that was my first job, was working as a fry cook in a Hardee's. But I remember when I was a kid growing up, the place I used to love to go was Steak and Shake. I really saw that as a restaurant experience, not a fast food experience. Some people are very, very, if you look on the West Coast, you'll see a lot of dark purple. That's In-N-Out Burger. It's a very, very popular brand. I believe there's one up in Fort Worth, someplace. But it's mostly a West Coast brand. My wife, for example, she's a big fan of Culver's, so she likes the Butter Burger in Culver's. And Culver's was there's Culver's and White Castle were sort of the Chicago hamburger go-tos, and so they all differentiate themselves a little bit from one another, but it's based on the location and what people are seeing. And so if you look at this map, you'll see a lot of diffusion here across. You'll see some strong pockets of stuff, but there's quite a bit of diffusion. Particularly like in the Midwest, it's pretty diffused, and the East Coast is pretty diffused. So anyway, product differentiation, how to make things that are basically the same seem different. And so that's the That's the challenge. So that's my conversation about product differentiation. I'll see you in class. Have a good day.